DoorDash has changed their rating system, but has it changed for the better or for the worse? Stick around to find out. Hello everyone, this is Elijah with the Rideshare Guy. In this video, we're going to be talking about the DoorDash driver rating system, the update it received, and whether it's good or bad for the drivers. This system has been kind of controversial throughout its history because DoorDash does maintain a policy to where if your rating drops below 4.2, then you're at risk of getting deactivated off the platform. With that being the case, we always want to make sure we keep our ratings above 4.2. But on the flip side, if you want to access some of DoorDash's features for top dashers, such as being able to dash when you want as opposed to when it's busy and red on the map, then you have to have an exceptionally high rating. And you can only imagine that if the rating system is not perfected, some people are going to be pretty upset on both ends of the spectrum. Throughout the years, DoorDash has taken note of our concerns as drivers when it comes to the rating systems, and they've been steadily making changes, and for the better I might add, to make it a more efficient system. Its newest incarnation of this came in the form of an update which happened a few days ago, and you may have received this email from DoorDash directly. We're going to break down this email and go over exactly what does it mean for drivers. The first part of the email puts an emphasis on how customer feedback will be handled now, and in my opinion, this is actually pretty good. For those of y'all that have seen my How to Place an Order on DoorDash 2021 video, I cover in that video that once the customer places the order, they have an option to rate you on a scale from 1 star to 5 stars. But what you saw underneath that rating is they can leave extra commentary on what exactly they liked or didn't like. Up until now, that feedback was really just meant for DoorDash to have, but they've opened it up so that you'll also receive that feedback as a driver too. That means that if you get a bad rating, customers are likely to leave the reason why they're rating you lower, and you can get that feedback so you can make improvements on your next few deliveries. One of the most frustrating things about being a dasher is if you do get rated down, you never exactly knew why you got rated down. You were just stuck with the fact that you got rated down. Now your rating is more compromised and you're left with this flustering feeling, not knowing what to do going forward. Well, that's the thing of the past because now you can incorporate the feedback that customers give you to make improvements on future deliveries. Let's briefly go over the 4 areas of feedback that customers can leave for you. The first one is communication. Now, people like to know every stage and every update when it comes to their order. DoorDash does an okay job at notifying where you are in the delivery process, from when they place the order to when you're waiting at the restaurant, from when you're heading to them, and finally from when you drop off. But I do stress that they do an okay job because if there are any variables that are extending any of those processes, they don't exactly let the customer know. And that's where you can come in with the communication. So if you know if this order is going to be delayed a little bit because of what the restaurant has told you, you can let the customer know that the restaurant is telling you it's going to be X amount of minutes so they can adjust their expectations. If you don't do so, then there's a chance they might rate you down because they felt you should have updated them more frequently on what was going on. And while the DoorDash app typically does let people know when you're close and when you've dropped off the order, there is room for error. I mean, sometimes technology glitches out, sometimes it doesn't work. Remember, I'm a customer for DoorDash too, and I've seen it happen. So you shouldn't always just rely on the app always updating the customer. I always have a standard text that I send out when I'm about a minute or two away from the drop-off. And that standard text is in response to these contactless deliveries. But I'm basically saying that I'm going to leave it at the door as they've instructed. Thank you for ordering for DoorDash. What that does is it lets them know I'm leaving it at the desired spot that they want. But at the same time, it also serves as a update to let them know, hey, I'm not that far, so get those taste buds ready. Customers appreciate this, and that's where that communication comes in play. And while we're on the topic of instructions, that's the next level of feedback that customers can give you. You want to make sure you check out the instructions that they leave for you because they're there for a reason. Apparently, they've ordered so frequently that this same thing keeps coming up, so they've decided to put it in the instructions so they don't have to deal with it anymore. If you bypass that, then you're inconveniencing them by making them do basically what they don't want to do. And if that happens, they're probably going to rate you down. So be sure to check for any instructions, and if you feel you need additional instructions, don't be afraid to reach out to the customer and ask. Next, we have order handling, and this goes without saying, but if the customer ordered a pizza, they don't want it coming in the form of lasagna, where it's just all over the place. You want to make sure that you keep their food in the same form that it was when you picked it up. And for that, I personally say an insulated bag goes a long way. At this point, I say all of us should have it, especially since it's winter time. But that aside, you can always make sure you position the food in the right way in your car, or if you're on a bike. Whatever you're using, make sure it's positioned so that the integrity of the food can be maintained while you're going to the customer. And last but not least is friendliness. And this is one we might tend to overlook since we're in a pandemic. So even though we probably are doing a lot of contactless deliveries, for the ones that aren't contactless, it never hurts to smile, be friendly. I usually crack a joke saying, it's chow time. And for the contactless deliveries, that's part of the reason I send that text I talked about before, because it just adds an extra layer of friendliness to you. In addition to those 4 categories of feedback, you can also receive compliments from customers. It kind of reminds me of the stickers function that Uber X has, where they can leave you like cleanliness, or they're a good talker, compliments like that. So in the grand scheme of things, this doesn't technically impact anything in terms of rating, but it is validation that you're doing something right. And last I checked, it never hurts to get some validation, so why not take it? And the last thing we want to talk about before we end the video is the concept of excluded ratings. Now, this isn't new. This has been going on for probably like 5 or 6 months, but it is worth mentioning in this video. So something can be an excluded rating if there's some factor outside of your control that caused the order to arrive late to the customer, and they leave a bad rating based on it being late. Since it wasn't your fault, DoorDash will actually remove that rating, so it won't be counted towards your last 100 ratings, which the rating system is based on. Some factors that are out of your control that could cause the delivery to be late is if it took a while to find a dasher, so it bounced around to multiple dashers, and then finally you accept it, but at that point the order is going to be like 10 or 20 minutes late. If they rate down in that instance, DoorDash is going to remove that rating. Same applies for if you're at the restaurant for an extended period of time. DoorDash is going to recognize that that's the restaurant's fault, and if they do rate you down, they're going to take that rating out of the equation. But the good news is, let's say if these factors did happen, but they rate you 5 stars, they will actually include that in the rating system of your last 100 deliveries. So you'll get the good if it comes from it, but if you get something bad, it will be dropped. And that is awesome. If you're wondering where all this is, it is found in the ratings tab. All you got to do is open the DoorDash app up, click on ratings, click your customer rating, and then everything we talked about will be there for you to view on a regular basis. So what are the key takeaways? This is the new rating system that we have for 2021. In my opinion, it's new and improved. This gives the customer a chance to get feedback to you so you know where you can make improvements. Bad ratings that you get due to factors beyond your control will be dropped. And if you want to know where to find this information inside the DoorDash app, just click on ratings, click on customer rating, and then all the information you need will be right there. If you want additional tips on how to improve your DoorDash rating, I recommend you check out our video that's on the screen right now, as I share plenty of tips that will help you raise your DoorDash rating, in addition to what we talked about here. That does it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. We publish new videos every single week, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified when we drop another DoorDash video. You can also check out our DoorDash driver playlist for more information on how to be successful with DoorDash. I'll catch you in the next one. Be safe and profitable, everyone.